Good day, everyone. My name is Anjulia J. Gutierrez, and I will be presenting my FMA 3 Evaluation in Action, Evaluating 1 Billion Rising Philippines. So, first off, I wanted to start by saying that 1 Billion Rising Philippines, although they are very active in updating their website about information on um, the social mobilization activities that they've been doing in the Philippines, um, not much officially published data has been released to the public. Um, so I will be using the specific framework concepts that I've mentioned in my FMA to kind of get a glimpse of what it could be like to evaluate their activities through a DevCom lens. So with this, I will not be claiming any numerical data for this FMA3, but instead we'll be using observations and um, perhaps we could say qualitative research. So the purpose of this evaluation is that we're applying the framework from FMA2 to conceptually evaluate 1 billion rising Philippines to assess how it mobilizes people, spreads its message, and achieves its advocacy goals. So this is done without fabricated data, only using observable outcomes, public information, and also logical assessment as a scholar of DevCom. So first, monitoring. Are we on track? So using Stewart's indicators, the level here is the campaign events held in major regions annually since 2013. Um, as I've mentioned previously, 1 Billion Rising Philippines aims to combat gender based violence, and it's a global movement that started um, around 2012 or 2013 and reached the Philippines a year prior to its creation. The timing. It consistently launched um, its flash mobs and other activities around February 14, which is Valentine's Day. So annually, it holds its flash mobs around Metro Manila and other parts of the Philippines. It's most active annually, often aligning with local activism calendars. Effectiveness. Growth in media mentions and social media engagement during the campaign season. Campaign season meaning when they partner with different schools, organizations, and even local government offices. So public evidence of this, as seen on their website, is their social media presence, event documentation on their official platforms, mainly their website and their Facebook page. So evaluating before, during, and after. This is adapted from the sixth training. Formative. Public concerns around gender-based violence remained a constant backdrop against the mission of 1 Billion Rising Philippines. So gender data from PSA, NGOs used to inform themes annually. So uh, 1 Billion Rising Philippines actually partners with the part had actually partnered with local government offices such as the COMELEC and the PSA and the Department of Justice. So with that, it's safe to presume that they get they get quantitative data on gender-based violence and gender equality on a regular basis for ongoing hashtag tracking video campaigns and participant feedback via social media. And summative is there's no centralized reporting per se that's released publicly, but visible community testimonials, LGU collaborations, and partner statements have been always present online. So for strategy one, advocacy and IEC, this is visual. This is visible through flash mobs, creative performances, and their digital storytelling. So the evaluation tools that have been used for this or can be used for this are to track the social media reach of their hashtags, their official hashtags, such as, for example, hashtag Rise for Women and hashtag OBRPH. To measure engagement, their shares, likes, and comments are might be can be tracked and analyzed, namely on their Facebook page. Strategy two: community organizing. Um, as I've mentioned previously, 1 Billion Rising Philippines partners with women's organizations such as Gabriela, WWU Women's Workers, um, and government organizations such as the Senate of the Philippines, Commission on Elections, and the Department of Justice, as well as schools such as St. Scholastica's Marikina, Miriam College New Valley, and the University of the Philippines Baguio. So evidence of this is the repeat participations in events and regional mobilizations. So uh, their partnerships are not limited to these examples that I've mentioned, but there are so many other grassroots organizations, government offices, and public and private schools, and as well as local governments that they've partnered with. Um, so the evaluation tools that we can apply to this is to count the count of regional coordinators, chapters, or events hosted within and beyond Metro Manila. So here are some examples of this from UP Baguio, something from back in 2013 for Justice for the Yolanda victims, um, and Gabriela Davao. Strategy three, capability building. So this is quite short. With this, we can suggest or apply activist training, feminist discussions, and safe space creations. So 1 Billion Rising can get more creative with how they facilitate their seminars and their talks. Can be via Zoom or in person through open mics and other online forums. Evaluation tools for this can be the pre or post reflections from attendees. We can gather recommendations and insights from or reflections from attendees. And also, we can also measure with this the number of training sessions held, as well as the number of people who have actually participated and attended. Here are more photos regarding 1 Billion Rising's movements. And for strategies four to six, we have alliance building, which is something that they already do, which is regular collaborations with NGOs, LGUs, and unions. For example, Gabriela, Amihan, and others. Monitoring and evaluations. So there's no formal structure published for this, as I've said, but as a suggestion, 1 Billion Rising Philippines can use simple tools such as Google Forms, WhatsApp groups, and qualitative interviews with their participants or spontaneous interviews throughout the events. And feedback mechanisms is reflection circles. They can be reflection circles, open mic sessions, as evident in their media coverage in their on and updates on their website. But the real impact here is human impact, which is the real indicator. So the humanistic side of 1 Billion Rising Philippines is always the main focus here. So while legislative wins are rare, um, personal empowerment is strong, and as long as participants share how they felt seen, heard, and part of a larger movement, then 1 Billion Rising will continue to thrive and grow in the Philippines. So, as a suggestion, we can suggest documenting stories through video diaries or anonymous audio reflections from participants and survivors of gender-based violence who are part of 1 Billion Rising's events and activities. Here are more photos, and next we have alignment with the social develop with the SDGs, which are the development goals. So SDG number 5, it align 1 Billion Rising Philippines aligns with SDG 5, which is gender equality, which elevates gender justice in public discourse and pushes for broader policy awareness, even if change is slow and even if legislation um, puts gender-based violence on the back burner for most of the time. Um, and also aligns with SDG 16, which is peace and justice, which encourage which encourages civic participation and community dialogue. So as we can see, 1 Billion Rising has partnered with unions such as Amihan and also have partnered with the DOH or the Department of Justice itself. And while these events have been successful, we still have a long way to go. Uh, we still have a long way to go until we see the number of gender-based violence dropping in the Philippines and more victims having the courage to speak out and um, and tell their story. So what can be improved? What can be improved here is to have more structured M&E would help capture impact better. And 1 Billion Rising Philippines, their organizers and their chapters could invest in tools for data collection without compromising safety. So these could be anonymous Google Forms and other anonymous survey forms and forums, and build a platform for centralized sharing of regional outcomes. So the 1 Billion Rising website could be expanded and a whole new platform for Philippines for the Philippine chapter of 1 Billion Rising can be created for more personalized and more um, Philippinized appeal. And here are my references. And thank you for listening.